Hey everyone, it's me, the Dungeon Miser, welcoming you back to Minis for Pennies. This episode is going to be a lot of fun because I'm taking those big treasure chests and hole punches that I used last episode and doing something a little bit different. One of the ways I like to punish players who steal all my treasure is to remind them that it is heavy and that there is lots of it. They are going to need a way to transport it to civilization, and they will have to defend it from bandits and highway robbers the entire way back. For that scenario, I like to use wagons and carts. There are a few commercially available carts and wagons out there, however they start at $5 each and go as high as $20. My version is going to be a whole lot cheaper. First, get yourself a novelty treasure box. Normally the bigger sizes would be an issue, but for this project a hefty chest is a perfect choice. And when you have your box, you can make a deck of craft sticks to go under it. Any size of wooden craft stick is fine. I'm using the popsicle sticks, but coffee stirrers or tongue depressors would work just as well. You want to make a rectangle slightly larger than your box, and then when you have your deck laid out, glue the chest right to it. Next, I made some rivets with my 1/16 inch hole punch and decorated the chest to make it look a little bit beefier. When the chest is glued down, take some twine or some costume jewelry chain and wrap it around the cart and the deck and the chest to make it look securely strapped down. For the wheels, I took some off of a dollar store cowboy wagon. You can use these wagons as is, they make really nice carts, but if you harvest the wheels, you can get enough for 2 carts. I made the new axle for the wheels from a plastic cotton swab stick, and I also added some height to the cart to match the height of the horse by gluing 2 beads underneath the deck and then adding a plank for the wheels. To pull the cart, I attached 2 more of those plastic rods to a barnyard set horse and harnessed it with a little twine. And when that's all set, the rods get glued directly to the underside of the deck on the cart. I also wanted to add a flag to the cart, so I snipped some heavy aluminum foil from a disposable pie plate into a good shape. I wrapped that around a plastic cocktail skewer that's shaped like a spear and attached it to the deck. Then the whole thing gets a coat of Mod Podge, then prime and paint. And here's the finished treasure cart. This project can also be used as a tax collector's wagon or transport for a holy relic, whatever you like. The cost was 25 pennies for the chest, 4 pennies for the wheels, 3 pennies for the horse, and 5 pennies for the art supplies. So 37 pennies or 3 for $1. The second project was inspired by the Discworld creation called the Sapient Pearwood Luggage. If you're one of the 3 people who don't know, it's a large trunk with dozens of human feet that allow it to follow its owner around, and it also serves as a bag of holding and a personal bodyguard. I think it is perfect for a villain's sidekick or for a magic item for a player, but rather than simply glue feet to a chest, I decided to go a little steampunk instead. I have my chest, so I want to build mechanical legs for it. I made some rivets from a piece of plastic bottle and glued those to some standard pony beads. I'm making 6 legs for this project, so I added 4 rivets to each bead and then attached 3 on either side of the box to serve as leg socket. To make the actual legs, I took 6 floss picks from a dollar store bag and cut them midway up the tip. I then took the standard hole punch and nipped off the inside corner of each floss pick to make a quarter circle notch. This notch is the perfect size for a 5mm round bead. A drop of glue will hold the bead in place, and when the beads are on, I can glue an 1/8 inch rivet on either side of the bend to simulate a movable joint. When the legs are all done, they get glued into the pony beads just like a ball and socket joint. You can rotate and adjust these legs any way you like, just like the real ball joint. After that, I decorated the chest with rivets and a bigger hinge and a latch to make it look more substantial. I also added some beads to the front of the box to give it a mechanical eye. For the back, I built a firebox out of some bricks from a Dollar Tree Lego set. I used a windshield for the firebox, a pegless square for the door, and I combined a cylinder and a goblet for the chimney. That was decorated with more rivets and a tiny piece of cat litter for the fuel. Mod Podge base, prime, and paint. I used a treasure box for this project, but the legs can technically go on just about anything you can attach them to. For example, here's a robot I'm making for a different game that used the same basic leg technique. So you can see you can use just about anything as a base for your walker. Cost is great. It was 25 pennies for the box, a penny for the Legos, a penny for the base, and a penny for the art supplies. So 28 pennies or 4 for $1. And there you go, 2 machines made from novelty treasure boxes. I hope that inspired you to crank out some inexpensive machines of your own. Thanks to all my subscribers and all the crafters on social media who've been putting their own spin on these designs. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button and let me know what you'd like to see in the comments. Also, next week's episode is a challenge. Fellow game crafter Earthman Brick has dared me to kit bash miniatures from even cheaper stuff. Is that even possible? Find out next week.